is that we lost track of the fact that the Constitution was written to restrain the government. Now it's turned on its head. The Constitution or the government is there, they use it to restrain us. That is upside down. And over the years, the government gets more and more powerful. It's not only the executive branch, it's the judicial branch, it's the legislative branch, it's the bureaucratic branch of government. And more power gravitates away from the individual, away from the states, into the hands of the bureaucrats and the politicians in Washington. Not only that, but we have to worry about all this power gravitating to the power to be in Washington. It's even going further. We have to worry about powers gravitating to international governments, to the New World Order. That of course, would have to be reversed as well. But another thing that happened over these many years that have allowed us to slip away from the Republic and the principles of liberty is we came as a nation to believe that a person's needs are essentially rights. If you need something or want something or demand something, that does not give you a right to it. Rights are something that are very precious. They don't come from the government. They come in a natural way or a God-given way. They come as a right to your life and a right to your liberty. I believe the trends in the school system over the last many decades has been detrimental. And it hasn't been one party. Even in the 50s, it started with the federal government getting involved. There is nothing in the Constitution that says the federal government should be involved in education at all. We've had a system of government that has been encouraged by our school system. The economics taught in the school system is never free market, Austrian hard money economics. It's always Keynesian, soft money economics that are wrong. And not only that, we get taught history in our public schools. And who are the great presidents? The great presidents are always said to be the ones who run a war. Why don't we have the peace candidates be the great presidents? Something else has happened over the many decades, and that is our confusion on what patriotism is all about. Guess who the true early American patriots supported? They didn't support the current government that they had, and yet today they want you to believe that patriotism means that you support everything the government wants. A true patriot defends liberty and the people. if you support the free market system and you don't support the welfare state, that you can't be a humanitarian. That's total nonsense. If you really care about your fellow man, and you care about prosperity, and you care about peace, you have to care about liberty, not socialism and welfareism and corporatism. We as a group are often challenged by saying, oh, you're the people that want to go back to the dark ages. You want to go back to the dark ages of sound money. You want to go back to the dark ages of minding our own business. But the real truth is that the old-fashioned ideas is tyranny, and we want to get away from those old-fashioned ideas. Freedom is a new idea, and it's only been tried in a short period of time, and that's when the world has become more productive and poverty has been wiped out. But what do we see now? We're drifting back in that direction, and people are moving into poverty, even in this country, because they do not understand and do not defend the principles of liberty. Ago or so, philosophically, this country accepted the notion that freedom was made up of two parts. Two parts. One, where your personal liberties mean one thing, and on the other hand, your economic liberties are separate. That is complete nonsense. Liberty is one unit. You have a right to your life. You have a right to live your life the way you want. You have a right to work hard, and you ought to have a right to keep the fruits of your labor. In one of the debates we were asked as a group, what do you think is the greatest moral crisis that we're facing today in this country? And the thought that crossed my mind during that debate, and I still believe it's one of the most serious moral crises we face, and that is we as a nation have come to accept, at least the policies go in that direction, that we as a nation now accept the principle of preventive war, actually starting war. There is no moral justification for that, and there certainly is no constitutional justification to fight these many wars that we have been fighting without a declaration of war. We take the oath of office to obey the Constitution when we're sworn into office, and we take that when we're sworn into the military. And we swear to uphold the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Guess what? We do a pretty good job defending against foreign threats. We overdo that because we have no foreign threats. We have no threat that somebody's going to invade this country. We have a threat of terrorism, but that is a consequence of a seriously flawed